Okay, so we'll start. So hello everyone. So welcome you all to the another event of organized by Professional Development Club. So just a sweet and short introduction to Professional Development Club. So this is the only graduate student club which is fostered or which is intended to help students in whatever way we can through different workshops. We have resume and these kind of sessions, resume grooming. So our main intended purpose is to help the students, especially the graduate students, in their career growth. So definitely look on to the events that are being organized by the Professional Development Club. And this is like just a brief of what we do, and we are planning to organize and have more such events on board. So like we are planning to have office visits and then collaborate with industry partners. And the best part would be the industry internship project. So some of you might have checked out the event that happened on 27th of July. So moving on with that, we have some of our faculty advisors, Professor Liam Payton, then we have Anna, and also we have Professor Sawson. So these people have always helped us in whatever way they can. And more than that, other than this, like most of the events that we post would be in person starting from in the end of August, because we'll be welcoming the new students for the fall. So that is the time we have more interactions and in-person events. So this is the list of all the industry partners that we have for now. And more are adding on board so that we can help students find the projects and also the internships, even if they are not able to land through the co-op or other platforms. So I'll start with the introduction of our first alumni, and also the she has been the co-founder of PDC, currently working as a senior business analyst at uOttawa IT. She graduated in the DTI program from University of Ottawa, and she has keen interest in AI and machine learning. She was the founder of Professional Development Club, and she completed her master's in 2020. So I'll pass it on to Astha if she wants to add on to something, how Professional Development Club has changed and how everything has been for her.
Thank you, Ritesh. I think you guys are hearing me well, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks for that introduction. I'm always happy to be part of the Professional Development Club. Every time I attend these events, I tell the executives, I tell the attendees that this is something very close to me. We were a group of four when we started in 2019. It has grown so well, and it's like a legacy we keep passing, and then it keeps growing. And you guys are doing an amazing job at that. Every time it has had like really good set of executives, I would say. And every time there's something new, and the events have their own flavor, like so that's really good to see. Um, so I'm always happy to be a part of this. I wish I can keep contributing as an alumni, and whatever I can bring to the table, I'm happy to connect with you all, help you, mentor you in any ways. And it's like a knowledge sharing platform. I always tell people that, continuous learning and knowledge sharing is the base of PDC. So it's two-way process. It's like I come here, I learn every time. So that's a pleasure for me. So I'm glad to be here.
That's really good to know from Astha. That's really good. So we'll start the rapid fire round now. So we have some set of prepared questions for now, and after that we'll open the stage and floor for the students to ask the questions live.
All right, how
Okay,
rapid
so
do you
we'll
want me to
start.
answer these?
Like not very brief, but we'll keep it sweet and simple so that we can take more and more questions and they can
Yeah.
take full advantage of you answering the questions. So, okay, so someone has asked, I'm coming to Canada in August beginning, so I have nearly 1 month to adapt myself. What things should I do till August to utilize my time?
All right. So it's very good that they're already coming a month before. There is a lot that can be done. If you're straight away coming to Ottawa, then I would definitely recommend start looking into volunteering with organizations. So you can start by attending events already because you're a registered student. There is a lot of offers on student enrollments in a lot of clubs. So there is IEEE, and especially for women, there is a special unit of IEEE Women in Engineering, and then there is also, I think, Young. I don't remember exactly the name. I'll look up and I'll share the link. But IEEE is an organization that definitely needs volunteers. PDC would need volunteers as well, so I cannot forget that. And there are events that go on a regular basis around Ottawa as well. So participate in those events. There are events that are cultural. There are fests going on. Especially August is a really good time. You're just preparing to enter into fall. So a lot is happening around Ottawa. So just keep updated about these events. You can look up into Instagram pages, Facebook groups, join those as much as possible. The other thing I would suggest is, again, like through these events, you can always network, but you can even join meetups. So there are groups which actually take you for tours around Ottawa. So those tours would help you to know Ottawa better. So start by that, start doing that for sure, and do a lot of shopping because you'll have a lot of back to school offers going on. So I would say that's also a good time to utilize your time. I would suggest. Apart from that, prepare yourself for winters a bit too. One thing that I would again suggest is to survive the winters in Ottawa or in Canada in general, be engaged in a lot of activities, winter activities. So, ice skating and skiing. So you can join these groups, go out, explore as much as possible. Yeah.
That's really, really great, Asta. So I'll move on to the next question. So someone is asking like most of the flights land to either Toronto or Montreal. So how is the best way to travel to Ottawa in that case, if there is no
So
direct connecting flight to Ottawa? Yeah.
Yeah. So, one thing is I just discovered, and I was very late to discover that Qatar Airways has student benefit, like they have a student club, privilege club. So Qatar Airways, if you register to that by your student ID, and you have to provide, I think, your student proof that you're an enrolled student, and you'll get offer on Qatar flights. So a good route is from India to Qatar, Doha, and from Doha to Montreal. That's a really good route to take. The flights are pretty comfortable. It's a good airlines. So I think that's good. The other thing is from my personal experience, when I landed to Ottawa, I landed to Toronto, so that was my port of entry, and then I had a flight to Ottawa. Um, but nowadays, whenever I'm traveling, I prefer Montreal because first thing is Montreal does not have a lot of congestion in terms of immigration. I know it will be still busy because it would be time that all the students would be traveling, but Toronto is in general pretty packed. So if you can, and Montreal I have found recently is also cheaper. Uh, so definitely look into coming from that route. I would suggest.
Okay, that's really, really great. So next question. How do we get referrals from the professors? Like someone has published already several research papers and review papers. So I wish to be under guidance of some professor for research related work. So
Mhm.
which in turn can help him for referrals for the job, like having a network with the professors. So one, like I'll add on to this, like one thing we can do is that you can like work through industry internship projects or academic projects with the professors. That really helps. You might want to add on to this.
Yes, Ritesh, I was actually, that was one thing definitely I was about to say is doing the industry internship project with the professors specifically. There is a huge network of researchers at university. I don't know if they changed the web page. I'll quickly look into, like later on, I'll look into the link where you can actually find the details about professors, what their research interests are. Connect with them as soon, like connect with them on a personal level. That's what my suggestion would be. So one way of entering into that path is attending seminars. attending conferences, especially if those professors are the one who are the speakers in those seminars and events. So do connect with them on that level, and you need to show your face. You need to have a face to your CV, to your publications, whatever you have done. You need to be there when you're connecting with them. So definitely do that. And yeah, I think network with them as much as possible is my take on this one.
Okay, perfect. So I'll move on to the next question. So the next question is, can we switch from M engineering to MASC after enrollment? If so, how? If you're aware of this one. I know
uh,
it's been a long time graduating.
yeah, like things change in terms of how they happen here, but there is always exceptions that are made. I would suggest when you so for MASC, it's so for MASC, it's a little bit. I would say both are competitive. I won't compare in that sense, but you need to have a lot of academic publications and stuff like that, right? Like you have to have your papers, your conferences, and poster presentations, and all of that. So definitely, you need to have that CV ready if you want to switch. Plus, again, like it's a good path to take actually. When you enter through M engineering, you can start establishing connection with professors, but you have to really go quick if you want to do that. So, if you have found a professor beforehand, but you have got admit in M engineering, that's fine. Connect with them. Approach them that if they can supervise you, because you definitely need a supervisor for MASC as well. So I think, yeah, so connect with them. Then you will have to go through the admissions. And it's always like if you have a support of a professor from the university, things can like I won't say it's always 100% chance, but things do happen. Like you'll have a supporting person from inside the university, right? So that's definitely going to help a lot. Although, like for me, speaking about me, I did my M engineering, so it was completely course based. I had co-op, I had academic projects, so I cannot speak a lot to that one, to be honest. But yeah, I'll suggest that.
Okay, that sounds great. So I think the most popular question, how do I find shared accommodation within 4 to 5 kilometer radius of the university?
So that one, there are a lot of Facebook groups, first of all. Join those. For students, specifically, there is one for uOttawa and Carlton students as well. So it's called uOttawa Carlton Student Housing kind of thing. Join those kind of groups. That will have a lot of posting. Another thing is, uOttawa has its own bulletin where they post accommodation details as well. So if you look up again uOttawa housing bulletin, you'll get that. You'll find housing and around the university. So some areas to look into when you're searching around or nearby university would be downtown around the Elgin Street. So I know it's a little expensive, but with shared accommodation, it can still like you can still manage. So that's like walkable from university. I used to live in that area for almost my academic year. One place that's specific is there are some older buildings in downtown. Just be aware about their maintenance. I would say when you are a new student, there is a lot that you don't know. Right. So I'm not scaring you, but I'm just saying if you're looking for accommodation, just make sure the building is not too old, because then you'll have to pay for sometimes maintenance. And even if you don't have to pay, there is always some maintenance going on, which is a mess. So look for buildings that, because you need peace of mind at the end of the day, I would say. So saving on money is important when you're a student, but also peace of mind is very important because you need to go there, you need to have a sound sleep, right? Other areas are Sandy Hill, that's really near to university, and Lees Avenue. Lees is where there's a lot of university students living. They have apartment buildings. although that's very competitive, there's like literally waiting there, I think. So try to connect with people, alumni, and see who's living there. Sometimes one trick also that helps a lot is that sometimes people are actually leaving their apartment and they're looking to sublease. So sublease is a concept wherein my lease is not going to end soon, so I want to sublet it to somebody. And that's really good because you will get the price that they have on their lease. So you'll get that rent. So if you're connecting with people who are actually trying to leave, and again, that's you need to connect and check, like, you cannot just connect and ask, like, are you leaving soon? Can I take your house? But just be smart in that sense is one of these, like, even if you come here, you take an Airbnb for some days and try to go to these places and see what's happening around. But yeah, if you can find somebody who can, sublet it to you, then that's I think is the best because you'll get a very cheaper rental price.
Okay, so one last question I would say. How has Canada been for you so far? Like your professional journey, working as a business analyst, and like how easy was it for you to cope up with the work environment? What change did you find? Like in general, your experience open to you.
So for me, it has been an amazing journey, I would say. Obviously, there are always hiccups and there are always, speed breakers, I would say. But overall, I've learned a lot. One thing that I find here, and each and every mentor that I have got have definitely told me that this is a land of opportunities. The only thing that you need to do is grab those on the right time. And one key to that is networking. I keep telling people that the more you talk to people, the more you tell that, like, you're doing this and you're like, you need to let them know that what you're trying to do, what you want to do. And people would be up there helping you. Canadians are really helpful. Honestly, they are like super helpful. So for me, like, it has been I would say, like, from academic perspective as well, the course that I took, CTI, when I was taking it, it was e-business technologies, and then it got its name changed in between. But it's an amazing course, interdisciplinary. First of all, I like, you get like a lot of exposure. So I got that, like, exposure into machine learning and AI, and then UX, which is right now one of the major work that I'm doing as a business analyst. Is more towards the user experience design. So you get to touch on a lot of things, right? Like, even from management perspective too. Um, uh, yeah. So I have volunteered a lot. Again, one thing with going back to the question about even professors, like finding out professors and, like, connecting with them, you need to be open to volunteer with them too. So the more you volunteer, I know it's always like, you are a student, you want to earn. I understand that. You earn, you do your part time, right? Like, I did that. I was doing part time at the university, outside the university, because, again, remember, the part time or the work that you do inside the university doesn't count towards your limit as an international student. So just remember that. So to definitely be up for volunteering. You are students, this is your time. I would say, like, 2 years, you'll get a lot of benefits as a student as well. So even in shopping, there are, I don't know if like, there are a lot of resources that are there existing for students. I don't know, PDC, do you have any links for new students coming in? But there are, like, student advantages, like, I think it's called student shopping cards as well, like SPA or something. You get discounts on a lot of brands and stuff. So I was utilizing a lot of these, right? Like, I was like, what is there out for students specifically? Every event has a student off, right? Like, you'll get an offer because you're a student. Restaurants off because you're a student, right? So utilize that, network a lot, lots of events. COVID is now almost gone. I mean, it's still there. You have to be preventing yourself, but things are opening up. Go to in-person events, connect with people, talk to people. That's like the key, I would say. Yeah. So Canada in general has been great for me. Loved it. Loving it.
So we have questions in chat. Can we start that? So the
Yeah.
first question is, I'm joining the executive MBA program from a Telfer. I was a HR professional here. Any options for working part time, I guess? Do we get easy jobs easily, or we have to follow any other channel for employment for part time?
Um, so for part-time jobs, first of all, congratulations on your admin. Yeah, so for part-time jobs, it's easy. It's basically what you are willing to do, I would say. I mean, be open as much as possible. If you are open, then you will definitely get it. Like when I came in, I was working as a cashier at a grocery store, which is the most easily attainable part-time job, I would say, a cashier or like working in a grocery store kind of thing. There are also some of the part-time. I realized it later, but again, this is for all of you guys. Do apply to banks as bank tellers. They hire a lot, like especially there is TD Bank that hires. They have a lot of opening for part-time bank tellers. They pay well, and that's a bank job. So it looks good on your resume too, right? So and it's pretty good job because there is not rush inside. Like there is rush inside the bank, but you know, like you have a lot of support there. Um, so not really. You don't have to have any other channel for particularly that. There is actually a lot of resources though. Indeed, ZipRecruiter. These are all some of the channels that we used to use for applying for part time. You can also apply as a tutor, part-time tutor. That's also a really good job. It pays well. If you are interested in teaching, definitely try that out. So yeah, be open to your part-time jobs. You'll get it easily if you're very restricted because sometimes it's like, I have a previous work experience from India. I don't want to work as a cashier here. Yeah, people they have their own conditions, right? So I would say it's okay. You should experience everything. Yeah, go for it.
That's amazing. The next question is public transport reliable in Ottawa?
It
No.
is. It is not. Yeah, I was just about to say. I would say uh, there there's I mean, honestly, you're talking to a person who literally lost their U pass and did not even realize for the whole academic year. So the benefit of staying near to the university was I literally used to even walk during the winter storm,
Yeah.
which is fun. But I would say it's getting better. I don't want to just mislead you. It's getting better, but honestly speaking, it's not the best. But there are applications like Transit is one of those which give you real time updates on where the bus is, and the frequency of the buses now is better. I live away. I live a little too far from the university now, but I still sometimes when my car is broken, I have to take public transport. But yeah, like with the trains, O trains, I think things have been good, but in winters you cannot super rely on them. Uh, but yeah, it's not that bad. Like I would say maximum it will take 1 hour or 1.5 hours for you to reach from, like, if you're really far away from the university, I would say like it's a 20 minutes drive. Let's say if wherever you are, and if it's a 20 minutes drive, then consider that would be 1 hour by public transport, 1.5 hour by public transport. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll open the floor for more questions because she's here for another 5 to 10 minutes at max, and then we'll welcome the another alumni. So
The next
please
question.
feel free to ask questions.
Okay, so we have a next question is getting a part-time job competitive in Ottawa?
It's kind of similar. Yeah, so it is definitely like there are a lot of students, no, but there is lots of opportunities too. So again, like you have to keep applying, and go. There is a personal factor to everything, right? Like you cannot just consider that I'm applying to 50 jobs from my laptop and it's going to work, right? You have to
Yeah.
actually go. You have to network again, networking, right? So go and talk to people. Go, like what we used to do is like print resumes and bundles. Like from university, you have cheaper printing rates there, so go and print from the university, and
Mhm.
go inside the, everywhere and just drop your resume. Be like, okay, I'm looking for a job. I need to get this part-time job, and just drop it. And also, again, connect to people who are working already. But like sometimes you just get a reference. There are a lot of current students who are working part time, and they might have like their employer would be hiring. So references work majorly here, not only for part time, even for full time. Like when you're graduating or when you're looking for full time jobs, I would suggest, that's why I'm so pushing you all on like networking, because reference, if you have a really good reference, you can get really good job. Yeah, it worked for me. So that's why I'm saying.
So, Roshni, do we have more questions in the
Yes.
chat?
So the
Yeah.
question is, I have heard from my friends that handling part-time and studying is difficult and hard to manage. As a new student, would be great to have your opinion. And if it was difficult, how did you manage it?
Um, you'll hear a lot of things before you arrive. I would say be discreet in your decisions. It is sometimes hard, especially the first semester, because you're adjusting. Everything is new to you. So I would say it's not like, end of the world, even if you get a part time, but you're only working 10 hours, right? Like you're allowed to work, I think 20, 21 hours, 22 hours or so, but don't work more than that. But even if you're starting to work and just like getting into it, just give your availability for 10 hours, just work, just get to know your workplace as well, and then focus on your studies, because that's your primary goal here. And I would always suggest that people sometimes, get too engaged with their part time. Like that's ultimately your part time. Okay. Uh, you are here. Your purpose should be very clear in your head. You're here for something, and you need that to be achieved. So that's why I'm saying, like, give yourself that buffer so that you can even volunteer in some of the work that's associated with your own field, right? When I was working, I was always working, not like I won't work more than 20 hours. Even in summers, when I was allowed to work 40 hours because it was a summer break, I did not work more than 25, 30 hours, honestly. I was getting bare minimum to keep myself going, and we have GIC too. That's like a support for us at the end of the day. And I majorly was working as volunteer, so that's where I got my first volunteer job with City of Ottawa. And I was working as a research knowledge analyst with them. So it was volunteer, but it did really help to get my first job. So just align your thoughts in that process, because I know that it's always during, like people are working sometimes 80 hours when they're allowed to work full time, right? Like 40 hours, like in your break. I see people, they go crazy, honestly, like they're working like anything. But just channelize your energy. Just make sure that you're gaining the Canadian work experience that you need for your full-time job. Okay, so I would say volunteer if you can, and sometimes volunteer work gets you the job. Like they love your work, they will hire you, right? So it all starts like that. I think Edo is one of the companies that has been PDC's industry partner for very long time now. And you start as a volunteer, they like your work. If they like your work, they're going to hire. And a lot of industry partners like that are there. So it's okay. You can manage, I would say, but just be discreet in your decisions. Don't push yourself too hard. If you feel like I cannot, like you can compromise on your part-time work. Don't compromise on your studies and your end goal.
Yeah, that's amazing, Asta. We have one final question. What advice would you like to give for the incoming students for them to have a good time in Canada?
As I said, don't don't, like restrict yourself. Be open as much as possible. I know as a newcomer, there is a lot that goes on. You are experiencing so many things, just be resilient, right? Like, especially we are like any international student, they are very brave, honestly. Like, you're really brave that you're coming out of your comfort zone, you're coming to a whole new country. Just be proud of yourself, first of all. And then go out, meet with people, be open to learn new stuff, and utilize as many resources as possible, as I'm saying. Again, connect with people, network with them. LinkedIn is a great platform. Meetups is a great platform. Go out with groups, right? Like there are groups that go for activities around, go out with them. One other thing for all the newcomers is as soon as you come here, register yourself with the City of Ottawa Public Library. There is a lot you can do with that card. It's free of cost for people residing in Ottawa. So it's a temporary, like even if you're on temporary residence, it's okay. You can get that card. You get instruments to borrow. You can get actually look. You can get musical instruments, even not just musical instruments like telescopes and stuff. Like if you're into stargazing and stuff, you can actually borrow them for 3 weeks. You get free LinkedIn learning, although you won't get certifications out of that, but like it's free of cost. It's Linda, which is now LinkedIn Learning, but through uOttawa Public Library, you can do a lot of courses through that. And then obviously you have a huge and extensive resource to the books and online materials. So there is a lot you can do that with that public, and even you can book meeting rooms in any of the Ottawa public libraries with your card. There is a very minimal fees to that. So if you want to organize an event or anything, so that's one thing that actually I missed doing because I was too lazy. Don't be lazy when you're here. Like with that card, I think 1 year ago I got it made, and I've been utilizing it a lot since then. So as a student, just get the Ottawa Public Library card as well, and then university has a lot of resources. So be open again. My again key is networking. Network. Just talk to people. Go into events, any event. Thai Ottawa is a really good. I'll share some of the links once I'm done talking. But Thai Ottawa, and then there are other organizations that have student membership offer, or you can join them. They organize a lot of events. Just I think it's JCI. One is like youth club, and there is a lot. IEEE, as I already mentioned. And yeah, so I mean, volunteer. I'm still volunteering in a lot of these organizations, so it keeps you going.
So thank you, Asta, for your time. So I have shared her LinkedIn in the chat. Feel free to message her. I hope it's okay, Asta, for people messaging you if they have any
Oh,
further questions. And
completely.
thanks a lot for taking out time. I know what weekend means when you're working in a corporate life. Thank you for waking up early and spending time with us. So thanks
No,
a lot for your
that's
time,
fine.
and it's a time we welcome our next alumni. Thank you, Asta.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you so much,
everyone.
Asta.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll ask Atefa Azhari. She will be our next alumni. I'll spotlight so everyone can see her. Okay, so I'll introduce her first. So she's working as a commissioning coordinator at Crosslink Transit Solutions. She hails from Iran. She holds a recent Master of Engineering Management, that is EMP, very similar to MEM degree from University of Ottawa. And she has 2 semesters of TA experience. She is efficiently managing and coordinating different diverse projects and systems, and she would be helping us through different questions today. So, hi Atifa, would you like to introduce yourself? Anything you want to add?
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here today. And if you have any question, I hope that I have the answer. And if not, I can guide you through the websites and how you can just find those answers. So I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So we have some questions planned for you that students specifically wanted to ask you. We'll start with those set of questions first, and then we'll start taking questions from the chat.
Perfect.
Okay. So the first question would be, um, people want to know basically how did you get your TA or any other on-campus job? How easy is it to get, or if you want to elaborate more on the process of getting one?
First of all, I think that you're all aware that Ottawa is near to Quebec. So being bilingual and getting a job at the university and on campus really requires to be bilingual for many positions. And even if for the TA positions, if the position is open, if you know French, you get that position like much easier. But for me, that I was not really, I didn't know anything in French. So there, for our time, there was a portal in the university website that I know that they transferred it now to the Workday, that you can go there and search for all the opening positions from all the, and you can filter all the departments, and you can see all the positions there. The thing that you should be aware of is that for getting the TA position, for example, if you want to apply for like I will say engineering design, the course that I was TA for 2 semesters, there is no need that you be like expert and know everything, all the details, and you be like a professor in that field. No, it's not essential. If you have like an engineering background and you go to the syllabus of the courses and you know, okay, I know something about this, and I know with the knowledge that I have as a master's student, I can guide an undergrad student. So apply for that and just have the resume ready. The resume that mentions your research areas, that focus on the technical skills that you have. And if you are suitable for that position, they will pick you. And they will, for some positions, they will ask you for the interview, but for some, they are not. For example, I was a TA for engineering design course for 2 semesters. And the way I found that, it was from the club in the university, and we had like 3 days of workshop. First, they taught us how thing works, and then they gave us a project to go to the lab and do that project. And the professor just checked the thing that we made, and then they called us for the interview. And I had like the interview, and then like it was a like really long journey. It was not really normal, but this course was working like this. But for many courses, you just get an interview with the professor. And for many of them, you are just going to the exams and you just mark the exams. And there is no need that you go to the class. But for some of them, you should go to the class. So my suggestion is that just go through the portal, whatever it is. Like if it's Workday, go there, filter the semester you want to be TA for, filter the department that you feel more related to that, and go and apply for all the positions that you think you are even close. And just be honest on your resume. And if you are a good match, they will pick you and they will have an interview for you. So don't underestimate yourself that, okay, I don't know anything about this subject. If you have engineering background, you can apply for the Faculty of Engineering TA position. So just have the self-confidence, apply for that, be honest on your resume. If you're okay, they will pick you for that position. And I promise that will be like a great journey to work as a TA in the university, because you have your courses, and at the other side you are working with undergrad students, and you do the networking with the professor of that course, and so you can use that connection a lot.
That's really, really great, Latifa. So I'll move on to the next question. So someone has asked, I got an admit into MEM program. I'm from mechanical background and wanted to change my field towards corporate or management side. How much difficult would it be, and what are the things I should do to land the job very smoothly?
I think this is not a really odd situation, and for me, all my classmates were like from various fields of engineering, like mechanical, civil, industrial, computer engineering. So as you know, for getting admitted to the engineering management program, you should have several years of work experience, and you should have the engineering background with a good English proficiency. So I think that's normal. Everyone wants to do that. And the good thing about this major is that you can choose your field, like by choosing courses. If you want to be a project manager at the end of the road, you can choose the courses in management area. You can choose the optional course in project management, in HR, human resource or organization, behavior. If you want to go to the manufacturing side, you can do the manufacturing analysis. If you want to do the robotic, you can go to the reliability thing. So many courses are offered. So the main thing that you should focus on is that you know your journey, because you have the work experience, you have your previous degree, you know what you want to be. So choose the courses, optional ones, like wisely, and just don't go, okay, this course, the hour is good for me, so I pick that. No, don't do that. You know your path, because any course that you pick, it gives you the chance to connect with the professor, to connect with the other students from that field. So it will be like much easier for you to dig into that field and find the job in future, hopefully. So I think that it's not really hard, because everyone in this major have your situation from engineering background. But my suggestion is to just go and see the courses and see the optional courses, what you want to pick, and know your road. Know that, okay, this fall I want to go with these courses, winter I want to go with these courses, summer I want to get the course or I don't want to, and then for the other ones. And just be careful that some courses are not offered in specific semesters. So if you want to take them, just be aware that which term they offer which course, and then take them, and you will be fine. So there's nothing to be worried about, because the management side is something like soft skill, that if you thought of that, so you have the ability to do that. So there is nothing to be worried about.
Okay, perfect. I think that answers. We have another question. So if you have a part-time job, how many classes per semester do you recommend to take to be able to manage the course load?
So for us, for me, I entered this program in 2021, fall 2021. That semester, we supposed to pay for the whole semester. So the fee was almost 1,200 for the one semester. So we all wanted to finish our studies in 3 semesters and not 4. But now I believe it's unit based. So when it's unit based, there is a slight change if you finish your studies in 3 semesters or in 4 semester. So I believe that 9 units, that makes like 3 course, or 5 if you have 1.5 unit courses, will be like ideal. But it really depends on your ability and the hours that you can work and study during the day. For me, the first semester I had 12 units, and my day started from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. because I was filling in my 20 hours part-time job, and I was studying. So if my shift was started like at 10 a.m., I already did my assignment from 6. So it really depends on you and how you want to manage that. 9 units will be like ideal. Six units is like nothing. Don't do 6 units. Like 6 units is for the later semesters that you want to look for your professional job. So at the beginning, 9 will be safe. And 9 is not really too much, not much. And I suggest you to get your core courses and compulsory courses at the first semester, that you are safe. Okay, so I had my compulsory one, so now I can go for my optional ones. So 9 units.
Okay, perfect. So do you have any information about the internships or like how easy, like not easy, but where they can find internships in the field? And do you recommend working in the engineering field that they have been working in the past, or should they look for more management roles if they are planning to join MEM this year?
Honestly, the way I see it, if you want to enter the managerial roles, that will be like not really easy. But with your engineering background, you will get the internship and everything much more easier. Internship, it really depends on your networking, as our friend told before. So it really depends on the networking and referrals here. Referral is something legal and something that is a must in Canada. So you should connect with people, and if you see someone in academia that you think, okay, she or he, they can be a referral for me, just tell them that what you're looking for. Even though if they don't have anything on their plate, just tell them. And whenever something comes up, they will, okay, this guy, this girl wanted a job, wanted the internship. I know that some majors offer co-op positions. I'm aware of that. For me, it was not like that. So if your major offers a co-op position, there will be like something like a pool, that the portal that you go there and you see all the companies that are offering the co-op positions. And with that portal, you can put your resume and the university will support that. And most of the companies go to that portal and select the students for the interview. But for me, my major was not officially offered with co-op. So the way it worked, I was engineering management student. So the way it worked for me was like I had to go myself and apply for a co-op position or internship or anything. Internship was good, but co-op, I had to go to and had the offer from the company and send it to the university, and university accommodated with giving me all the documents, supporting documents to get that co-op. So I was not allowed to go to that pool, but I could do it by myself. So to go to the conclusion, I believe getting an internship in managerial role is not really that easy. It can happen, it's possible, but engineering part, I believe it's much more easier. And then when you go to the engineering position, then you can go to be a project manager or be a coordinator on that field. Yeah, but it all depends on your networking and your search. So never give up, just apply, just send out resume. You, at the end of the road, you need one job, you need one internship, and you will get that by applying to like hundreds of them.
Okay, perfect. So I'll take more general questions now. Someone is asking, I'm looking for a private room as I would be joined by my husband in December. So what options do I have as I land around last week of August? How safe are the Airbnbs? And do you think a new person in Ottawa can find an accommodation? In what time do you think? Like more about accommodation kind of a question.
Is it like for Airbnb or like for the
I think they will be staying in the maybe they can correct any if I'm saying it wrong. You can open your mic and please correct me. But I think it's more about like how to land into an Airbnb, staying there, is it safe? And then she will be joined with her husband. So how easy would it be to find accommodation like a private room after searching for an Airbnb? Yeah.
So if you go to the Airbnb application, you can see that no one is monitoring those Airbnbs, but you can see the reviews. You can read the reviews to see if that area is safe or not. So first of all, I believe that you have to search for the safe areas in Ottawa. First of all, do that, and then when you filter all the accommodation Airbnb in those locations that are for sure near to the campus, then search for the reviews, because I believe that as far as I know, there is no monitor on them. They should be safe. They should be safe. But just look for the location that is safe in Ottawa. This is one thing. For the long-term accommodation, there is a there is Lucia Codal, there is Riverside. These 3 locations are really are near to the campus, like with changing to transit with bus and then the train, like in 15 minutes, less than 15 minutes, you can reach the campus. So Leeds, Lucia Codal, and Riverside, these are the ones that I have experience to live in. And I guess these environments are really good, and people living there are all students and mostly international students. So you don't feel like left out. When you go there, they all have your same situation, and they are all either Colton students or either uOttawa students. So I believe these 3 areas for the long term one is good. About the question that when is the best like time to apply for them, I know that some apartments, when you just came to, when you are a newcomer, they ask for the credit, and if you're, because you don't have any credit when you come to Canada, so they ask for the cosigner. So you may get rejected like in any time, like no matter what time you come in, but there is always opening. And for example, I know the Lee apartments, they are rental, and the rental property knows that people here are newcomers and they don't have any credit, and they will support you. So there is no specific time. Always there are some spaces that are vacant and you can just apply for them, but just look for a safe area. And if you're looking for the Airbnb, just go to the reviews. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that is really great. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a very tough question. Can you please let us know what is the average pay after MEM program? You don't need to disclose yours, but what's the average pay, do you think?
As a for a coordinator, I know some, because now I live in Toronto, so I want to focus on Ottawa. I know it's it starts with 65,000 a year, but it can be less and more based on your experience. But the average with this start is that for being a coordinator. You may have like many experience in technical world. You are like, you are really expert in IT world, so you may get a better offer, but after graduation, it's around that.
Okay, perfect. So other question would be signing of a lease before arriving looking for I which is what I don't think so. We already answered this one. Okay, I'll take the questions that we already planned. Just give me a second. So for the
We
next
have
question,
Sorry,
okay, do we
sorry,
have?
Krish, we have one question in the chat. How can we apply for being a tutor off campus if you have any question, clue about it?
Um, I really don't know about this. I really don't
Mhm.
know. There should be some place like in the website, but I've never applied for that, so I really don't know how to be. Yeah, I don't want to lead you in a wrong direction. So I don't know. I don't know really about that.
That's completely okay. We'll keep this question for other alumni. So someone is asking, I got selected for a TA position, which is an on-campus job. Will I be able to do part-time jobs outside my campus, like Walmart, Tim Hortons still, or is there any issue with that?
Yeah, so you can do that. You can do that. The on-campus job is different from your part-time job, as long as you can handle both. For me, I honestly I requested a service request on the portal. I requested a service request for that, and asked for exemption 10-hour a week, because on campus you will work 10-hour a week. I asked for that, but I know that's not a must. I know some friends, many friends, that they have their postgraduate work permit now, and there was no issue. They didn't even request for that. But for me to be on a safe page, I requested for that, and I mentioned I'm an international student. This is my transcript. I can handle my part-time job. I can handle my on-campus job. So with my record, I showed that, okay, I can do that. And it got accepted in 2 days. So within 2 days. So it's to be on a safe side. But there is no need to apply for that because on-campus job is different from your part-time job. The part-time job, you are not allowed to work more than 20 hours a week. There was an exception for a specific period of time that you can work full-time. Check that to don't affect your postgraduate work permit. And but now you're safe. You're safe. If you work on campus, you can work. If you want to work out of campus, you're safe. You can do that.
Okay, perfect. So I'll take one last question for you. So how easy it has been to stay in Canada coming from Iran? How has been the networking? How has been the workplace? Like your experience of Canada as a whole, all through your journey with your starting with your MEM to here, how has the journey been so far?
So it's like a marathon, you know. You should keep it in mind that you are changing your continent, you're changing your country. No one is here for you. Your parents are not here, your family are not here. If you're lucky, they are here, so you're lucky. But mostly they're not here. So you should keep this in mind that you may be affected with many things. You have to do your studies. The main reason that you are here, you have to handle your pocket, your finances. So you have to manage everything by yourself. But this is not something that is impossible. Many students are doing that. Many people are doing that. You have your connections, you have your friends here. They are all in the same situation. Honestly, the first 6 months, because of the weather condition, the language that they speak in the university, because for us Iranian, I don't know if we have any not any Iranian in this meeting now or not. We do our education in Iran in Farsi. So when we come here, it's all in English, and you have to put your technical thing, your language, everything together, understand what they're saying, and then go to your part-time job, deal with that. Even your English is really good, you still have some challenges. So the first 6 months, you are just like, what can I do? What can I do? And you're just running. But after that, everything, you will settle down. You will know, okay, these are the things that I can do. These are the things that I'm capable to do. So the first 6 months, just don't get hard on yourself. You're changing your country. You're new here. Just the winter depression is something serious here. The weather condition, we all come from the really warm countries. Here it's like new for us. Try to go outside, try to connect with people, try to do their sports, do skiing, go to the campus, join libraries, go to the clubs, many clubs that the University of Ottawa offers. And there is a website, Eventbrite. If you register for that, all the events around Ottawa for anything, like from food to like job fairs are there. You can go join them, just go there, connect with people. I guess you will be good. After 6 months, you will settle down and you know everything, but just don't get hard on yourself. There might be some bad days, but there might be some awesome days. But after 2 years, I'm now here for 2 years and a half now. When you settle down and you get a job, you are like, okay, I did that, and everything goes like up really good. So hang it.
That's really, really great and inspiring words, Atifa. So thanks a lot for joining on a Saturday.
No worries.
Thanks a lot for all the help that you have offered. And
No.
I'll share your LinkedIn in the chat.
Perfect.
So I would suggest everyone to please message her in case you guys have any questions for her. And thanks again for joining. So I'll take this
No worries.
opportunity to welcome our next alumni. Thank you, Atifa.
Thank you. Goodbye.
So our next alumni Siraj Ahmed. I think I don't have enough words. If I start on describing what work he has done till now, I think it will take us another event. So currently working as a senior machine learning developer at Kinaxis. He graduated with his master's in electrical and computer engineering with thesis in 2020. He has been very active, and to be honest, this is the legacy that we are carrying forward. He has helped us a lot when we wanted to come here, and that's what we are trying to help now. So welcome, Siraj, and if you want to share something, please feel free to start.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Ritesh. Morning, everyone. Uh, Good evening for people who joined from the eastern side of the world. Yeah, first off, I wanted to really appreciate Ritesh, Roshni, and the other team members who I might not know, for organizing this. I really appreciate that. I hope we would have more of such of these sessions going forward. Yep. Okay. So yeah, so ready to answer some questions. Although I might
Okay,
be a little
perfect.
fuzzy about, a lot. It's been like 6 years now, 7 years. So yeah, let's see. Most of my answers might be outdated, but yeah, we'll try our best. Let's see.
That's okay.
Yeah,
We'll correct you if you go on a different track. Okay, perfect. So I'll start with the first question. We'll keep the answers brief, but not too brief, so that we can take more and more questions from the students. So the first question would be, what's the interview process in Canada for software engineering jobs?
Sure. Yes, it is. So I actually lost you for a sec, but I guess the question was, could you repeat that question for me?
Sure. What's the interview process in Canada for software engineering jobs?
Yep, sure. Okay, so I guess you guys are you guys can listen to me
Yes, we can. We
clearly,
can.
right? Is that okay? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I hate to generalize this stuff, but let's lay out this procedure, and more or less, a lot of software companies follow a similar structure. The first round is usually a screening interview over a phone call. It goes for about 10 minutes or less. Usually a HR, uh, gives you a call because they are interested in your resume, in your cover letter. Uh, they might be interested in your LinkedIn profile. They wanted to see, if uh, there is a good match for this uh, candidate to be moved on to next rounds. So usually the first round is a screening round by the HR. Questions would be really, really simple. Like uh, they're looking to, uh, get answers like, okay, how much experience do you have uh, in whatever, this job domain that you're applying to? Um, when is your availability like how early can you join the company if you're selected? um in most cases, they also wanted to know that, how much is your salary expectations. um, um and yeah, so that would be the first screening round. uh, and then there will usually be a second screening round, which will be done by a hiring manager. So hiring manager is usually um, the one that you would be working under in that company. Uh, so usually the round goes about 30 minutes, wherein they try to see how you fit in as a candidate. Questions are not usually technical. They are mostly behavioral. So they try to see, how do you react to some of the tough questions, depending on, the seniority of the level that you're applying to. Um, so that's usually the second round. And if they are happy, see that you're a suitable candidate, uh, there will usually be a third round. It could be a coding round. I guess I'm still uh, audible, right, Ritesh? Because I see your
Yes, yes,
photo
yes.
kind of stuck on my screen. I don't know for some reason.
No, no, I think I have frozen. No, no, no.
Okay.
We are able to hear you. Don't worry.
Okay, awesome. So post the second round, which is a screening from the hiring manager, um, they they insisted to get yourself examined through uh, coding uh, exam. That'll usually be of 45 minutes or an hour. It usually touches your basics. It usually touches some of the skill sets that they are looking forward to. So that's the third round, a coding round. Um, and then the fourth round is also a technical panel interview. I'm sorry if I'm scaring you guys. The fourth round is a technical panel wherein the team members that you would be working with, they come around. Uh, uh, they usually ask questions. You get an opportunity to ask questions to them. Um, it's more about getting to know what have you been doing in your um, uh, past uh, jobs, or in your if you're a PhD grad, or if you're a master grad, uh, what have you been interested in doing some of those projects during that time. So it's a 1 hour panel technical interview, uh, and followed by that, so they now know how you are as from the personality perspective, from how depth your technical skills are. um, they usually do not want to have somebody that would match all the 100% of the requirements. That is usually not the case. Even if you match about 75 or even 65 percentage of the requirements, as usually they would be okay to proceed ahead and give you an offer. So post the panel interview, uh, so again, you have an opportunity to talk to HR or the hiring manager, who comes forward with then a verbal offer letter. And uh, and if it suits you and the company, then it depends on you, how you proceed further, whether you say yes, uh, or you try to negotiate with them. But yeah, so that's usually the procedure followed for a software engineering job. More or less, sometimes there will be an opportunity to skip the coding rounds, depending on your seniority level. Like if you have some experience, uh, um, the hiring managers and the HRs, uh, they kind of want to look over their shoulders for the coding round. But if you are a fresher, then they insist on getting a coding round um, uh, done. So I think happy
Yeah,
to
I think that
take any
answers
questions
Raj.
on that. Mhm.
Yeah, I think that answers Raj. So one like common question that I always see on my LinkedIn is like times are very not easy for IT industry. We are seeing a lot
Mhm.
of layoffs, and also like North American market is like mostly networking, and then they are trying to freeze the hiring sometimes for students as well.
Mhm.
How do you stand out in whatever job, like not just IT, I would say, but now it's time you like show up differently. Like, what is your suggestion? How have you seen a change over 6 years?
In terms of the change, Ritesh, that's actually a tough question, because at my company we're still hiring. So Connexus has been, uh, uh, in a hiring mode of late. Uh, we did not get influenced by Amazon's or Google's uh, hiring freeze. Um, so it really depends on the kind of the work that a software company is doing. So I would really want to not worry about whether the recession is coming, whether people, whether it be difficult for people to get jobs or I do not want to get into that loophole or to get overthinking about those aspects. Uh, no, there are opportunities in the market, uh, uh, and with sufficiently making sure that okay you have a proper a skill set you are applying towards the domains that are have good opportunities in. Um, it should not be that bad, Ritesh. I personally do not feel that it will be a tough time going forward for computer science engineering graduates, at least for next 2 to 3 years.
That is really, really optimistic, I would say. Like, I think it answers most of the questions because everyone was very
Mhm.
worried, especially those who are joining in Canada now. So I'll take the next question. Is it
Mhm.
possible to obtain part-time software jobs if you have prior experience?
Part-time software jobs is uh, okay. I would say internships are possible, um, but then once you and you know the system quite well, they know your worth. There might be a possibility of extending your internship role to be uh, a part-time role. Um, so it happened with me back then. I used to work for a startup. I was offered an internship. Um, so continued in the company, and after the internship, uh, they offered me a part-time because I was still studying back then, so I couldn't take a full-time. Uh, and so continued working part-time for a while, and then was also offered a full-time. So directly getting a part-time, I don't think, but then getting an internship, yes, that's possible. Ritesh.
Okay, Siraj, that helps. I'll take on with the other question. So
Mhm.
someone is asking, how does immigration unfolds once you land in Canada?
Okay, so assuming coming on a study permit and you're an international student, um, you are usually granted a 2 years study permit, right? Post that, as soon as you graduate with your, uh, your transcript and your course completion certificate, you would apply for a postgraduate work permit, um, short termed as PGWP. So the postgraduate work permit, it's usually granted for 3 years. Um, for uh, the master's program, which extends to 16 months to 24 months. And for people who are doing postgraduate diplomas on a 1+1 years, they also get a 3-year postgraduate work permit. So you have an ample opportunity of 3 years to explore the work uh, culture, explore uh, your horizon, expand your horizons on the professional upfront in Canada. And during those 3 years of your PGWP, um, the mandate is to get 1 year of Canadian experience. And with that 1 year of Canadian experience, uh, it could it could be at any point during those 3 years. Like if you're lucky enough, you might get the you might get into a job as soon as you graduate. Uh, but sometimes you may not. Sometimes it takes about 4 months or 6 months after you graduate to get into a job. But as soon as you complete 1 year of uh, uh, work experience here in Canada, and so that work experience has to be in um, specified tier groups. Back then, we used to have NOC categories, NOC 0, A and B. So if that job is within those NOC 0, A, B, um, you, that 1 year of experience is eligible to get you into Canadian experience class. And yeah, so if you once you're eligible, there are other eligibility criteria. You have to give your IELTS again. That's all okay. Like, it doesn't really matter like how much the score you get. If you're going for a CEC, you don't have to worry about getting like 8s and 9s as you would if you're applying for for the other string, which is FSW. So yeah, so assuming you are going for a CEC, you can go easy on your IELTS. The most important eligibility criteria is the your job experience. And yeah, so once you apply, uh, once you're eligible and you apply, it's all good. So your next aim is, you're put in a line to get your permanent residence, which might take a while, depending on how things are going. But uh, once your application is in for permanent residence, you don't have to worry about that. And then, yeah, so once you get a permanent residence, then there is no, this, how do I say, the blade on your neck of, I am a temporary status guy in here, so how? And yeah, that's usually the procedure, Ritesh. So yeah, so one important takeaway is as soon as you graduate, do not waste your time in earning through odd jobs. Try to get in uh, uh, your professional job as soon as possible.
Yeah, Siraj, that answers definitely. Another question would be a more general question, like for those who are landing in Canada, where can they like get their initial stuff, like for example, mattress or other table, desktop kind of a setup thing? Where should they be looking at? Like, which places do you recommend for initial grocery and like the first few
Okay.
days in Canada?
So for the first few days, it would really help if we have someone from here to accompany you. I think we have a lot of alumni from India, Bangladesh, Iran, uh, and Middle East. Um, so getting connected with them, that's important. They would help you uh, with some of these very initial important stuffs. To answer the question for household items, uh, I would suggest uh, Dollarama is cheap, followed by if there's nothing, if you do not find stuff what you're looking for in Dollarama, then go for Walmart. It's the next least expensive option. As for your uh, uh, groceries, the eat stuff, I would suggest Freshco is doing really well. Freshco and Food Basics are the least expensive options to buy your groceries, uh, and then followed by Walmart again. For your bed and mattresses and stuff like that, uh, I think getting them ordered from Amazon would be the cheapest. You would have more options rather than going to IKEA. In my opinion, though, I think, yep, you might get better options on Amazon.
Yeah, adding on to this,
Hope that
like I
answers.
definitely, yeah, I think adding on to this, like don't go for mattresses that are used by someone, especially like if they have been used like for a very long time. I know that might fascinate that spending $100 or buying a new one or like getting $30, saving those $70. But I have seen people struggling with bed bugs, and that's a real problem in Canada. Please don't underestimate that. Don't try to look out for furniture which you're not sure of. please be very careful, right? It's okay to spend money, but you don't want to regret later.
Yes,
So,
Ritesh. Yeah, that's
uh
actually yeah. I mean, yep. As I said, do not take stuff if you are unsure of.
yeah.
So, I mean, if you are getting into a home that is already furnished, if you're getting into a home that already has a bed from your senior, from your alumnus, and
Mhm.
they tell you that yeah, things are all okay, there's no bugs and stuff, then you can buy off from them. That's all okay. Uh, but then getting stuff from marketplace or uh, I mean getting stuff of related to bed and mattress from marketplace would be a little riskier. Actually, yes, it'll be a lot riskier. Yeah. Yeah.
And also for the furniture thing, like adding on to
Mhm.
this, please don't miss out the free store thing we have in Ottawa. Here is like conducted only once in a year. It's by RBC. I missed it last time because I was spending time in Toronto. That is the time, like there are offices that come there. They'll give desktops for free. They'll give office chairs. They'll give all the tables. People don't have like enough hands to hold the amount of stuff they get. So I think even this time they have in Welcome Week, like for free, the free store kind of a thing. I think definitely do check out that. And also it's a Canadian culture to keep the things they don't want to use outside their homes. It is not that they're damaged. It is for someone who can find a better use of that. So moving on from like not general to now more IT questions now. So what
Mhm.
advice do you have for students who are joining a thesis-based engineering program?
Yep. Don't waste your time. Okay. Don't waste your time at all in your first semester, in your second semester. Things will get real crazy. As soon as you get in your thesis program, make sure that you have a plan laid out with your supervisor. Um, Getting a problem statement and working towards your literature review, that should be your first priority. Don't wait until end of second semester or end of third semester to just get your problem statement. So as soon as you get in, uh, uh, you know work really proactive with your supervisor. Don't just wait for instructions from him. uh, that'll that's actually not advisable. You know uh, Try to push to get as many meetings scheduled with him as possible, him or her, over a week. Prepare a plan. I actually have some Excel sheets with me that I can share with you, Ritesh. Please send me a reminder. I'll share that with you, and you can share with the rest of the other members. So it helps you keeping stuff on the track. um, it helps to get your yeah, get things laid. So a proper plan is really necessary. Don't wait until second or third semester um, to you know start your thesis work. It has to be started as soon as possible, so that you can spend a very good time, enjoying that novelty of work, enjoying that chaos and the uncertainty of finding a solution to a novel problem, right? If you delay a lot, then you will be in a position at the mid semesters wherein you might have to rush things. So you don't want to do that, right? Like you want to enjoy each and every aspect of the research-based program, right? So that's one advice that I want to give. Um, Make sure that you are aiming for publications before uh, during your course of a research program. um, you don't have to wait for multiple publications before you can submit your thesis, but yeah, at least one publication is definitely um, needed, I would say, before you go for submitting your thesis. And there's a lot I could talk about, but I'm not sure if everybody's interested to listen to questions on thesis-based program. But yeah, so work with your supervisor. Uh, don't be shy to talk to him. Okay. ask him the tough questions. Um, ask him or her to get you um, involved with the other peers. Mhm. That really helps. Usually, professors are really busy, and since you're in a research program, you do not get to interact a lot with a lot of other students. Like if you were going into a course-based program, wherein each and every class you get to see a lot of different faces, so there's a lot of opportunity to interact and network. However, that's in research-based, you interact and network only with a small group. Usually, your research peer or the peers of your supervisor's friends, right? So, but then, yeah, so get yourself involved, ask a supervisor to get you in there. There will usually be a lot of paper presentations or ideas uh, uh, generating sessions with these peer groups. Go and attend them there. um, yeah, so that's what I have off the top of my head. um, and be patient. Okay, the road will not be that easy, but then you're gonna like it. Like it teaches you a lot being in a thesis based program. There's lots and lots of ups and downs, usually downs, but then there will be a lot of those moments wherein you uh, you might feel a lot, uh, more than overwhelmed, I would say. You might want to go back to a course based. You might want to just not continue thesis, but then believe me, everyone or most of the people who've done their research based program uh, had gone through that phase, and uh, just stay in there. Things will get better. Just stay in there. Yeah, this is not to scare,
That's
but then to help you prepare what you have. Make sure that you come up with a plan with your supervisor, and it really helps to define deadlines right from the start, like deadlines for your problem statement. It could be in end of first semester. Deadline for your literature review. It could be end of your second semester. You know, uh, methodologies. It could be end of your third and fourth semesters. Um, experimentation. It could be X deadline, and so that really helps to lay down that whole roadmap. Work towards your roadmap. Uh, you know, uh, break down that whole uh, uh, project into very uh, chunkable small milestones, right? Um, with proper deadlines, so that you feel that okay, you're progressing towards that work. Uh, you are not getting into procrastination mode. Usually people stay away from being the perfectionist in there. Um, yeah, so I think that really helps. Yeah, Ritesh.
thank you, Siraj, again. So another question would be, what is the scope of freelancing jobs in Canada? Can we get good opportunities in like
Mm,
software quality analyst or automation?
Yep, there are quite a good number of freelance jobs. Yep, if you are somebody who have experience before coming into Canada, I think actually there are a lot of people in here, right, who have experience of working with software companies, or who are yeah. So for them, I would really encourage to get yourself registered on Upwork, and then um, uh, there's this Angel Investors Ottawa website, which lists um, most of the Canadian startups with the current with the correspondence details. So go to that website, reach out to these startups, uh, write them an email that you're interested in doing work for them. Um, they usually are not gonna pay you a lot, but then these are the people that need you, and they could help you get your foot in the market, get you expand your network. So that's yeah. So that's I suggest that for people to explore that realm as well. Uh, there's a lot of scope in there, rather than having to wait on you know um, like getting the internship opportunities or co-op opportunities from Ottawa U or Carleton. Rather than that, you work towards uh, uh, finding your own spot with these startups in Canada. And the beauty of computer sciences is that you can work remotely, so you don't have to worry about leaving Ottawa or so across Canada, right? You can work anywhere remotely if it's a computer sciences job most of the time. So yep, so that would be my answer to that, Ritesh.
Yeah, thank you, Siraj. Even I didn't know about the angel investors network. I'll definitely note it down and also check out some startups. So moving on to one more general question. I have a driving license in 1 year. Will it be useful to get a DL extract, or is there any minimum number of years required to get the benefit?
That's a good question, actually, Ritesh. Um, okay, so pardon me here if I think if it's 2 years that's required. So what I thought, but then I actually got a mixed. I did a little bit of research on that question, back then, and it looks like it's minimum 2 years. But then um it doesn't hurt to uh, go and inquire at the drive test Ottawa at Walkley. Um, Ask them if the 1 year experience is enough. I think it would be enough, and that the extract had to be uh, something that's been generated 6 months uh, before you, like within 6 months before you go for your knowledge test, right? Like you cannot have a DL extract that's old for more than 6 months. They want you to give them a freshly printed extract um, for whatever the experience that you have back home. So that, yeah. I think
Yeah, thank you, Siraj. So I
Mhm.
think we have answers to all of our questions. So thank you for taking out time and as always, like helping us students in whatever way you can. So thanks a lot for joining again.
Thanks, Ritesh. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so I'll welcome the other alumni, Chetan, if he's here now.
Yes, I'm
Hi,
here.
Chetan.
Hi,
Let
Nitish.
me, hi, Chetan. So let me give you a good introduction. So welcome everyone, Chetan. So he completed his master's in mechanical engineering from University Ottawa with 8 months co-op at Hydro Ottawa. He has also worked as a project manager at University Ottawa for part-time and a teaching assistant at SEED, and currently working at SNNC Lavalin as a commercial coordinator. And also he has been a volunteer with City of Ottawa. I think that kind of summarizes what Chetan has done. You want to add something, Chetan?
Yeah, thanks, Ritesh. Thanks, Roshni, for the opportunity. Yeah, and thank you for the warm welcome. Like you said, I've been part of many internship, like co-op journey. Like my journey started with co-op and internship because I didn't had any experience back in India. So I thought it's better to get opportunity or develop my skill sets through internship co-op opportunity. So yeah. So yeah, whatever questions you have, you can ask right now.
Okay, perfect. So everyone, because he's the last speaker, if you have any questions, start putting your questions in the chat or start raising your hands so that we can summarize with Chetan after this. So I'll start with some of the questions. So what are all the courses in software a mechanical student must know and study in his free time to land in co-related jobs?
Okay, to be honest, related to software, core software. If I'm a mechanical engineer, like for me, the core software might be like SolidWorks, then FEA, then and MATLAB, something like that. It's better to know the basic. But to be honest, like me as well as my friends who has landed in the co-op, so the employer has taught them like advance how to be advanced in those software. But it's better to know the basic. And regarding the course, I would suggest means like it depends on what specialization you want to achieve. Like I was most gravitated to manufacturing, then industrial automation, project management. So likewise, I decided I planned my coursework in that way, and you have to take care means like which subject fall under which term. So it's because that's important. And for means like I had co-op in my course. So you have to take care like before co-op, try to take technical courses as much as possible, because that helps you like for example, if you are in a co-op position where you require a lot of technical knowledge, so it's better to know means like uh, you have a technical grasp. If you are taking management, you feel like you're lost with the technical terms and all. So it's better to know the technical uh, better to take the technical courses. And it's my recommendation like if anyone over here is mechanical engineer or civil engineer, I would recommend them to take most of the courses like HVAC, then related to like construction, such courses, or related to project management. Because what I believe, when I was doing co-op, so initially our role is like to help higher authorities with data gathering. Then I can say uh, like data analysis. So it's important to know such subjects. So yeah, my recommendation is to plan according to that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Chetan. So how did you get your co-op at like Hydro Ottawa? Because I know like they have plenty of projects. Like it's a very, very good source for students. Like how did you get one, and how do you recommend for someone to get into a co-op with Hydro Ottawa?
You might be knowing like our university has a co-op placement. So it's like university will help us getting co-op, as well as we are partially responsible means like off campus finding a co-op placement. So I got a co-op hydro auto opportunity through university platform. Means and that journey was not that good. Means like initially, who has been through co-op journey, like the co-op placement gets right before the start of co-op. It's like till then you're worried whether I'm going to get co-op or not, get co-op or not. So like I kept on taking guidance from co-op office, then as well as my friends, then doing networking, asking people like how I can get the opportunities. uh, then I try, I mean, it's like every day was a new day for me, like to learn something new. Then alter my resume according to that. Then make cover letter. Then additional to cover letter, it's also important to like add additional documents, like whether you have some important certifications, then transcripts. So you have to showcase yourself. So likewise, I learned, and then I got the position through University of Ottawa placement.
Okay, perfect, Chetan. So we have one question in the chat. I'm interested in manufacturing or aerospace industry, and can you please guide me how to club different courses and which courses are important for above mentioned field?
Okay, for manufacturing, I would like recommend to once like take more courses related to like uh, management, such as industrial organization or manufacturing system analysis, or even operation management. or supply chain management. So they are the courses which will help you in manufacturing, as well as if you are interested, you can also learn more about material engineering, because some manufacturing company might expect you to know means like more about material, because manufacturing is where we require raw material. So it's important to know more about material. And another course related to aerospace is like, if you are interested in aerospace, Carlton offers like a very good amount of subjects when related to aerospace. So you can see that, but I don't have that much experience related to aerospace, but I would recommend whatever Carlton course offers. They are the best course for the aerospace.
Okay, perfect. So someone is asking me like, where are like most of the jobs based? Like, people say that most of the jobs in mechanical field are based in west side of Canada. So do you think is it easy to land more in Ottawa, or do you think like shifting to west would be a better option after a job?
I would say like if you have landed over here in Ottawa, don't keep this mentality that I have to make career in Ottawa. I would say it depends on the niche. Means like, if you see Canada as whole map, the niche is divided. Means like, if you go to the west side like Vancouver, you can see a lot of ports. Then Vancouver has energy sector, as well as Alberta has energy sector. And if you come to the east side like Ontario, you will see like car manufacturing, then industrial automation, like a food processing industry. And if you go to Quebec side, you will see like aerospace manufacturing, such company. And again to the Atlantic side, if you they are ports, then again nuclear energy and all. So it's like a I would say it's your understanding how well you are developing your courses. Like for me, it was either to go into utility industry, because I had my previous co-op experience in maintenance and reliability at utility industry. So I was finding jobs in utility as well as project management. So I would suggest like plan your course according to that, and consider Canada as a whole opportunity. Wherever you get the job, go over there. I would suggest that.
Okay, perfect, Chetan. So I remember I mentioned in your introduction that you have been a teaching assistant at Seed.
Mhm.
For those of you who are joining this, if you're not aware, we have also posted a job for being a TA at Seed at PDC's website and also at like LinkedIn and other social medias. So do check out. How would you tell your experience? Like most of the time, people say you have to go through workshops or there is an experience with the tools that you might need before like even applying to these jobs. Is it like you get trained when you start, or it's you are already trained, then you get a TA?
Well, my experience was I had to go through those training, and I would recommend to go through those training, because it helps you personally as well as professional. For those who are mechanical as and electronics, means like Seed has technologies such as 3D printing, then Arduino, then other computer tools, which will help you to brush your knowledge, as well as help you on your resume as well as. But I would recommend like to take training, and during interview, like they ask you more related to the training, so you'd be confident enough to answer those questions. And my personal experience means like, when I got TA, I was knowing the tool, so you are confident enough to answer students. So it's better to go with the training journey. And I had one friend who got the opportunity without the uh, training, but he got it through the networking. Means like, he was in a contact with professor. So the professor who was teaching the class, and having the lab, so he was in contact with them, so he got through networking. So there are two way, like networking as well as training. So training is hard, but it's easy, I would say.
Okay, so someone is asking like, is the pay for TA enough to like survive in Canada as a student, or do you think you should be working part-time along with that?
uh,
Like how hectic is
it's
TA?
It's according to your expenditure. Means like those who are sharing. Means like if you are sharing on living on a sharing basis, and if you have like a mentality to save, then I would say like TA is enough. But if you're planning to like as I paid my university fees. Like working through co-op, then internship, then TAs. So if you want to do that, I would recommend like to take a part time along with it because uh, hmm, you have this time only to like uh, you, to like learn new things and in as well as to network. You will find a lot of people. So I would suggest like to take part time as well as that, but depends how much courses you are taking per semester. So don't make your course term hectic. I would suggest
Mm.
to focus on study first. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like a common mentality, like you want to finish your degree fast, right? So many people are asking, is it good to have like co-op opportunity during your study, or is it like you get just your study done and just focus on the full time? Do you think having a Canadian experience helps, or is it just that you just study and then aim for the like complete a degree in 3 semesters and aim for full time as fast as you can?
Uh, well, if you have experience in India, I would say like uh, n- it's okay to have Canadian experience, but if you have in experience in India, you can complete your courses fast and aim for full time. But like a student like me, I had zero experience in India. So for those who have zero experience or just like internship experience, I would recommend to follow a like co-op journey or internship journey because like most above 50% of the employers recommend to have a co-op or internship journey. And I have some friends who has experience in India, but they got a job based on the 4 months of summer internship experience. So it's like whatever experience they had in India, it was worthless, and they just got it on basis of the internship. So I would recommend to go with the co-op and internship journey.
Yeah, adding on to this, I feel like we might like be fascinated that it's good to rush up your degree fast, but the thing is your end goal is getting a full time, right? Getting yourself a good stable position,
Yeah,
but not having any experience here will definitely not like be a good way to go because like even I have seen friends who have like years of experience, like 7 to 8 of experience, but some companies don't translate that experience into your Canadian experience.
yeah.
So yeah.
And
Uh,
another thing to add is like working culture means like Indian working culture or anywhere in Eastern working culture differs from Canadian. So like a co-op platform is the right platform to know about like working culture, how to organize yourself. It's more important. So it teaches you a lot in that, and it will help you to uh, land in full-time job with less struggle. I won't say there won't be a struggle, but with less struggle as landing into job without no Canadian experience.
okay, perfect. So someone is asking if you don't mind sharing, what's the starting salary for an M engineering mechanical student?
That depends on the city. Initially, I would say, as well as like how prior experience do you have. But the initial salary starts from 60K for any engineering year in Ottawa. If you go to like Toronto or something, it would go from 65 to 70 or 70 to 75 like that. But if you have like additional experience to that, and depends means like if you have a full time or it's based on the contract position, so it can go up to 80K also.
Okay, that sounds great. Another common question is like everyone who is even Canadian, that we have many Canadian students joining here and also international students, they want to know more about scholarships. If you have any idea, do you think it is easy to get one or how to be aware of the scholarships that are coming in your program?
To be honest, I'm not the right person, but I can say like there are international mentors in University of Ottawa who can guide you through this scholarship. But it's really good to have the scholarship because it helps you to financially plan your semester or your course likewise. And those who have taken like education loan, it will help you. It will make you with means like less burden on yourself to have a financial planning. But I would recommend to go with the international mentor. They would recommend you a better way.
Okay, perfect. So I remember like for last year for us there was like two scholarships worth like $500 of just being an international student. Every semester you get $500. I know
Mhm.
like it sounds like that's very like less given that you're
Yes.
paying around $30,000-$40,000. But definitely it helps you pay your one like at least one rent's installment. So do check out. Even I'll share one link after this that you can like check. There are more scholarships coming on that platform. But I think you have to like start here to like enroll in any of the scholarships. But I think there's more and more like information on scholarships page that uOttawa has. So please do check out that. So other than that, moving to more general questions. Again, everyone who is joining, please ask questions if you have any. Otherwise, I'll keep on like adding more and more questions that I got in a like beforehand. So how has been like Canada for you so far, Chetan? Like working at a company, if you want to brief your role, how was it easy to secure the job, and how do you suggest like looking those who are joining, like how easy would it be to look for the jobs now?
Uh, I won't say the journey was easy, but there were like a lot of ups and downs. I came during a pandemic, so like uh, during that time, finding co-op was little bit difficulty because you can't meet in person. You can't meet in means like to network. You can't meet in person. Digital platform was just the platform where you can meet with people. So like. Right now to land into job, like it has been a easy task because if you see like we have one summer break and there are like employers who hyperactively means like hire co-op students or summer students, and you can take opportunity of that. And I have some friends who have got summer internship and again landed into full-time job immediately after like completing their graduation. So means and another thing is like every day is a new day, so you have to keep on learning. Means like not whatever you have got, you have to apply that as well, but you have to alter your resume as well as keep on networking, ask people. And most important thing is like if you want to have job immediately, it's important to have a referral in like a well reputed organizations or something like that. So like I would say like start networking as soon as possible to uh, get a smooth career in Canada.
And that is why we have PDC to help you out with your networking journey. So someone is asking, can you share how many courses did you take in each semester? Like talking about the course load.
Okay, initially, I took like two semesters because I did my one semester from back in India during because I joined during pandemic, and next semester also I took two courses because I don't want to make it hectic because I was traveling to Canada, and it was pandemic, so I was in that mentality that I will reach to Canada first and then figure it out. But I would recommend on average three is good. If you have co-op right now, they have converted it into like they have made per unit fees. So if you have co-op, I would suggest to take one course along with co-op. So that will help you to balance your. It's like you won't end up like making 5 or 6 semester. It's better to end up in like 4 semesters. So or three courses on average is good.
And also for those of you who don't know, like you are allowed to work as much I know, at least for my program, you're allowed to work one course worth at max 3 credits, and that should be a night course if you're doing a co-op. You can't have your course during your co-op hours because you
Mm.
are committed already to your office time. So James is asking, how do I land my field job? If you could help out with that.
Uh, First of all, I would say like explore explore cities, explore like industries. What if you're from for example, if I'm from mechanical, I would explore like which city offers what kind of role. For example, as I said, like if I go to west side of Ontario, so it's like car manufacturing. So I would try to figure out like in car manufacturing what kind of roles there are. So I will try to alter my resume according to that. If I have experience, I have internship, I will make resume according to that. Then I will try to know more about that industry on LinkedIn or Google, as well as try to find hiring person on LinkedIn or someone who has started a journey from junior. I would ask them how they started. So likewise you can decide your career journey according to this. And if you are interested any other opportunity, just try to find, as I said, like if you go to west, you will find like port energy and all, and to the east you will find car manufacturing, food processing as well as. So it's according to your niche, how you want to pursue your career.
Okay, so another question from Rishabh would be, what are the courses related to project management in mechanical engineering?
uh, Project management, one of the course I would recommend is there is right now they have started. I don't know whether it would be offer for master students or not. But during our time, I guess last semester or last to last semester, they opened a course called data visualization. So that's one of the course that will help you to learn more about like Microsoft Excel, then Power BI. That is important in project management initially to start your project management journey. Along with that, like there are other subjects like GNG courses also. If you are taking have taken management engineering management course, so you will be offered with project management course over there. But if you want to learn more about project management in like course engineering, then there are other subjects like manufacturing system analysis. Then yeah, it's like there are less number of course and technical engineering, means like technical core engineering. But explore the GNG courses, you will find more about project management over there.
Okay, perfect. So uh, that's not a name, that's a number here. Okay, so doing internship does help us in completing the masters. Like, will it provide us 6 units? Doing 2 internships cover us with 12 units, or all internships are combined for 6 units?
No, if your course offer co-op, so the co-op has units, and that's additional to the units, like course units. You have to it's mandatory to complete your course unit, and the co-op units are additional to that. But if you're doing internship don't have any kind of units. So it's like you are just getting experience. So there is no benefits in terms of additional unit added to your transcript or such like that. Uh, yeah, I hope that answer my question.
Yeah, I think that's like adding to this, if you're talking about industry internship project, that covers for 6 units. If you're taking 5901, which we have like meetings like with Professor Liam Payton, you can check out our PDC page. So that is 0 unit course. And I think 6997 is also like a research project, and that is also a 6 unit course. But as he said, like co-op does not count. If it's mandatory, then I'm not sure. But most of the times it's not mandatory and it's not at all included. Your course units are completely different from your co-op units. So that does not include.
I could
So we'll,
add to this
yeah,
if
Roshni,
it's
go
a
ahead.
yeah. So, co-op and internships do not provide you a unit. It's either a mandatory thing that you have to do to complete your degree, but they do not provide you any credits. If you want to convert your internship into credits, there's a course called GNG Finance O2, but that doesn't mean if you have internship, you automatically get your 6 units. You have to
Yeah.
work on a project, do certain presentations, show them what you're doing in your internship for Fine and O2 to gain the 6 units. So to summarize the answer, you do not get units by internship. If you want units for your internship, you have to prove it. You have to do project and presentations.
Okay, so we'll take last question for the day. So on what grounds do co-op students get selected?
Well, I had some a certain unique experience because to be honest, the co-op employer is not expecting to know you about like advanced thing in your field. They are just they just want to know you that you are willing to learn new things or not. But prior to like getting selected for co-op interview round, uh, like for I would recommend it was my personal experience. I got rejected based on not having a valid driver license for two jobs. So because I come into field role, so like most of the co-op positions offer like you have to work 50% on the field and 50% on the office. So they said that requirement is like to have a valid driver license. So I was rejected based on that. So I would suggest if you are a civil engineer, mechanical engineer, have at least G2 license to at least get interviews for the job. Then apart from that, like I would say, having a basic knowledge of your field is enough. But as I said, like employer is not expecting you to know more about like advance. They just want you to be in their organization to help them and learn new things. They are providing the platform to for you to learn what you have studied in the course. So but I would say like keep your basic strongs.
Okay, thank you, Chetan. So any note for the incoming students who are joining uOttawa this year?
Well, uh, I would say plan your course like accordingly, because my personal experience, I came during pandemic and I did one stupid thing, like I took summer break and did part-time at Walmart. That was one of the summer stupid thing, and it was a like pandemic, so I couldn't blame on myself. So I would say like if you're taking summer breaks, uh, please don't work doing such kind of part-time job. I would say like try to find summer internship. If you have to move out of Ottawa or relocate to another city, please do, because such internships experience matters. So I just plan your course accordingly, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, on that note, we would like to end this event. Thanks a lot, Chetan, for joining. And I
Thank you.
see Siraj also here. Thank you, Siraj, again for joining. And I hope this event was a success because I think we were able to answer most of the questions. Please let us know, those of you joining, if you would like to see more such events happening. Even it was first time seeing Chetan, like even I got to meet Chetan through this event. So that's a good interaction with the alumni. So, Roshni, want to add something?
Yeah, sure. So thank you so much to all of our guests, the alumni, for taking out your time and joining today. And also thank you so much for all the attendees. We Professional Development Club are always looking to help out the students and also the incoming students specifically. So just a thank you to everyone for joining. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
And also, just on that note, we have another event to help you out with your journey. Uh, that is on 5th of August, like how to get your U pass, how like